Bitch, no? The fuck? What are you talking about? What the hell? I actually just realized my title could be construed that way. Oh, I was gonna do some sound tests. Whatever. What was it? No. Now we're fishing all night probably. It's just a joke because there's the end of the Yorha edition or the this is actually the game of the Yorha edition that I'm playing right now. In my restless dreams, I see this scene near Automata. No, I mean, I hope. I hope it's over. I hope it ends tonight, but I'm not holding my breath. I am holding my, you know, but not my breath. Ah. My controller is still drifting. I forgot to do the isopropyl alcohol. Fuck! Could you create a save and come back here later? I could. But I actually want to get this finished right now, so... Alright, this is definitely worth actually figuring out. Okay. I'm not dealing with this. Pair. PS5. Pair. PS5. Controller to PS5. Create NPS buttons so it flashes blue. PS5 doesn't support this Bluetooth accessory, yeah? Sorry, what? Huh? How did I freaking connect it? This is complicated. Right. Connecting it via USB. Or is it only USB to USB? What if... What if it wasn't? You ever think about that?
To connect an additional DualSense PS5, go to Settings, Accessories, General on the left, Bluetooth accessories on the right. Then on your controller, hold both the Share button and the PlayStation button down at the same time until the lights on it start strobing. Then back on the screen, under the Accessories Found section, the new DualSense will appear. Highlight it and hit X, and then say yes.
Tried that. Try this. Oh fuck. Oh, there it is. Oh. This shit isn't even that fucking battery. Good shit. Good shit. Type shit, type shit. Oh, there is something that somebody found on a stream that I was watching. I decided to skip over the process of finding it, but I mean, what happens when you find it? But I wanted to show it off here. I do have actual content before we get really started on the meat and potatoes here. What is it? Wait, unless it's like underneath this thing, or maybe I missed the point in the story where I could actually see it. Many different possibilities. Many different possibilities. Might also be a mission. Might have seen a mission, I really don't know. Okay. Well, at least I didn't... The bright side of this is... Wait, can I make it over there? The bright side is... I was kind of sad by the idea I got spoiled of something that I could have found on my own, or something to that effect. But it looks like my fears were unfounded. Okay. Truly, I faced my fears.
Commencing.
Let's go. Get ready for story time. Found a way to make this a little more interesting. Wish I could also...
Catch.
Ooh. It's a little cock tease, you know. Little cock tease. You grab on anything while I reach over here. Give me a little reach around. Our goal is one swordfish. And then we move on to the next area, and our goal is one... I don't remember the name of the fish. But we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. And it's less rare than the swordfish, so... We're getting back into it. We're getting back into...
Report. Success.
Grimoire NieR. Oh! Almost dropped it. Wouldn't be the first time. And here we are. We are on the story guide. I need to read the story guide, to be honest with you. Something interesting is there's various languages on these pages just kind of spread around. I'm not sure why. Very interesting.
Cache lost.
I mean, this is the beginning of the story of NieR Replicant. Did I read it?
Report. Success.
Just complete story time. Let's see how I feel. Let's read these first few pages. No fall in summer. NieR's vision. Desperate to save a loved one, a boy forges a pact, setting in motion events that will ultimately seal a far-off fate. Summer 2053, Tokyo. A young man clutches a metal pipe in his hands. Though the city lies in ruins, he and his young sister have found refuge in a rundown supermarket. As they rest, his downcast gaze alights on a book with an ominous face on the cover. Suddenly, dark creatures rise out of nowhere, but the young man is prepared for how such shadows can strike without warning, and he begins knocking them aside one after the other in an attempt to keep them away from his sister. Sadly, the boy's frantic strength is no match for the sheer volume of Ebon's spirits that appear, and he is soon struck down to the cold, uncaring concrete.
Catch lost.
As his stunned eyes land upon the strange book once more, the sinister face upon it begins whispering promises of power, and the boy listens, for he will pay any price to protect his sister. I need more power.
Catch.
The moment he touches the book, it happens. As if responding to his unspoken desire, the tome rises into the air and joins him in battle, materializing arms of pure darkness that easily sweep aside his shadowy enemies. Gasping for breath as he struggles to contain his newfound ability, the young man races back to his sister, who greets him with a heartfelt smile. But as he reaches out to give him
Hypothesis. Garbage.
As she reaches out to give him a portion of a cookie she'd discovered, her small body crumples feebly to the ground. Yona! His sister had been struggling with an ominous cough for some time, and the lines of revolting black symbols now begin streaking up her white neck, a sign her condition has progressed beyond all hope.
Report. Purpose unknown.
Please, cries the boy as he cradles her tiny body in his arms. Somebody, we need help. Help us. He continues to scream and scream as a layer of salty snow slowly envelops the city in a soft blanket of white. Salty snow. I love that. That sucks.
Bite detected.
Notably, the picture here, so at the beginning of NieR Replicant, you get a pan of the city, and depending on what region you're playing the game in, it determines what major landmark appears in the city, and it's showing Tokyo Tower, which is the most accurate. If you're playing the Japanese version, it shows Tokyo Tower.
Report. Success.
It's also easy to forget because it happens right at the beginning of the game. The book that he uses at the beginning is Grimoire Noir, not Vice.
Catch.
I got the real one this time. Wonderful. I'm so happy. Unert's here. NieR's vision. As a sickly girl dreams of the legendary flower, the foundations of their lives begin to crack. Exactly 1,432 years have passed since the incident in Tokyo. A young man named NieR lives with his sickly little sister Yona. Each day he leaves her at home while he earns a living doing odd jobs for their fellow villagers. What?
You're reading me.
Yes.
I'm going to bed. I just put her food away. She's still downstairs.
Why not leave the food out? She'll eventually get to it, maybe. Want to give it to her in the morning?
That's what I was thinking of doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I just got some heartburn. Yeah, we've been so much away. Right.
Oh.
Hypothesis. Garbage.
These errands may be as simple as hunting violent sheep, or as dangerous as turning a sword against the terrifying shades who sometimes attack people in livestock. The rewards he receives for these small tasks pay for their food and Yona's medicine.
Report. Success.
The pair get further support from Popola, who manages the library, and her sister Devila, a singer. Although money is tight, NieR and Yona manage to take care of each other and live a life that is humble but stable. One day, NieR tells his sister the legend of the lunar tear, a flower so precious it can make a person rich beyond their wildest dreams. He goes on to say that having such money would allow them to buy the best medicine around, the kind that will cure anything, in the hopes of cheering Yona up about her current condition. The next day, Yona is nowhere to be found. Popola explains
Catch.
that Yona spent the day in the library trying to find a place where lunar tears grow. Popola told her that they could be found in the lost shrine, but made it clear she must never attempt to go there. Nevertheless, "I can't believe this," says NieR, when he finds Yona's ribbon along the path to the crumbling ruin. She really went to a lost shrine. Terrified of what might have happened, he races after her.
Bite detected.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Report. Success.
the story is nicely told, but in these pages, there's not really a lot of interesting details.
Report. Success. Report. Fresh. Report. Success.
Was that number 6? God damn it. Piece of shit.
Catch.
Yeah, just kind of skip through. Oh, I forgot you got to see Emil's sister for a moment. There's not even any particularly interesting. Oh, this is a little interesting. Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Report. Fresh. Report. Fresh.
So for these portions, following Kaine's revival, you get the perspective of Kaine, which is basically the B path.
Catch.
It starts off talking about her dreams of her past. For the most part, this one, when she's revived, it's not super, like, different. It's talking about her dream, her past. But here, when Kaine wakes from her dream, she is in the same library as that fateful day 5 years prior. As NieR helps her to her feet, she has to tilt her head to see the face that was once so familiar, and realizes he has grown from a boy to a man. She gazes at him for a long, long moment. There's a flutter of something within her eyes, faint but undeniable. But NieR seems not to notice as he awkwardly withdraws an item from his bag. It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried. In his hand is a freshly cut lunar tear. The imperfectly shaped white flower was something of a mess, but after expressing her heartfelt thanks, Kaine delicately pins the present in her hair. Cute. Bluebird.
Catch confirmed.
So this is from the perspective of Kaine during the fight against Gretel. But it kind of goes into the perspective of the Shade as well, which is interesting. The theft of the magic tome and the loss of Gretel's brother Hansel left the Lost Shrine's surviving guardian deep in grief. But as time passed, Gretel was cheered and sustained by the incomplete Shades who lived there. However, just as life was beginning to achieve a kind of normalcy, the trespassers who had once upended their existence reappeared. The Shades fight bravely to defend Gretel, showing no fear of either sunlight or death. But the trespassers mow through them like a scythe through wheat in their zeal to reach the altar. Aim for that statue, one of them shouts. It's the leader. Leader? Statue?
Site detected.
Gretel is confused. I am not their leader, it exclaims. It is I who rely on them. It is they who saved me. Stop hurting my friends. On hearing these words, Tyron erupts in laughter. Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying here. And then turns his attention to Kaine, who seems troubled by the entire affair. Hey there, Sunshine. You ain't feeling bad for this freak, are you? Indeed, a pang of sympathy has left Kaine momentarily distracted, and she is unable to dodge when a lance flies at her from an unexpected direction. Her ears ringing with Tyron's mockery, she collapses in a sea of blood. The next thing she feels is him consuming her body, just as he did on the day he restored her arm and eye. It's all over for you, Sunshine. The moment Kaine has long dreaded is finally here. She's becoming wholly a shade. But then, at the risk of their own lives, her companions restore her body and consciousness.
No response.
After being scolded by Emil and helped to her feet by NieR, she draws her swords and returns to the fight. So, I will note that, Gretel kind of resembles the, zombie robots. With the red eyes and the torn away face. A little interesting. Then, of course, it's talking about the robot guardian and the divine tree.
Report failed. Catch confirmed.
Get to the end here. A little bit of an interesting perspective. Still haven't caught that fish yet, huh? Nope. Crescent Flame. How you doing? I'm doing great. I'm trying to catch this fish. No, I missed it!
Catch lost.
Fuck me. Every single time I try to do something with my other hand. Every single time. I'm trying to, like... I have caught 6 machine swordfishes and 0 regular swordfish. And the machine swordfish is rarer than the regular swordfish. Yeah, just confirmed. This is the place where you catch it. Yeah, I'm continuing to read the Grimoire NieR on stream. There's not. I've hit like just a recap of the story of NieR Replicant, which is not as interesting as like the extra information. But there are different perspectives. The rule of wanting. The more you want one thing that's RNG based, the harder it will be to get. Yeah.
No response.
Well, like here. Stop, cries Khalil. Beepy's my best friend in the whole world. Stop hurting him. While Tyron's bloodthirsty roar reverberates through Kaine's ears, Khalil's plaintive cry pierces her heart. The party continues assaulting the robot, causing black oil to pool with blood at their feet. Overhead, the blue skies once sought by the robot and shade are now but a distant dream. Beepy, I'm sorry, moans
Light detected.
the dying Khalil. I'm not strong enough. I wanted to be with you forever. Khalil, together. But the robot says no more before its motors and gears grind to a halt. Whether this happens before or after the shade perishes is a question none of the party cares enough to ask. Cares enough to even ask.
Success.
We got the Little Mermaid.
Light detected.
Like, NieR's vision is very simple. It's kind of a recap of.
Report.
It's like NieR's vision is ending A, Kaine's vision is ending B. Here's Kaine's vision. Though the girl calls herself Louise, that is just a name given to her by the visiting postman,
Report. Success.
so he would have a way to refer to her. He brought food for the girl, taught her how to sing and write letters, and even contemplated adopting her. For her part, Louise wanted nothing more than to leave her ship and live with him as a human, a doomed dream that only the twins in the village could fully understand. You get its weakness by now, yeah, Sunshine? Whispers Tyron in the midst of their heated battle. Kaine does indeed get it. The weakness is the girl-shaped appendage inside the Shades' mouth. Once they knock the beast down and NieR buries his blade in the appendage, screams of grief reverberate throughout the bay. Why do you try to stop me, she wails. All I want is to be with him. Moments later, the shade dissolves like bubbles
Catch confirmed.
under the light of the sun. Several days later, Kaine encounters the postman staring blankly at the sea, and gives him a letter Louise had written to him. The writing is nearly illegible, and the text consists of but a single phrase written over and over again. Thank you. Kaine watches silently as tears roll down the postman's cheeks. Another episode. Hey, over here, shouts Kaine as she holds a blade to the helpless postman's throat. This guy's important to you, isn't he? Though NieR's party has been struggling to find an opening against Louise, nothing is working. But the losing battle finally turns around when the postman joins the fight. As he repeatedly strikes the Shade's leg with a piece of broken wood, Louise's attacks cease. We can never be together, the postman cries. You disgust me. The pummeling continues, and NieR takes the opportunity to throw a black lance through Luisa's heart, ending her. A week later, as they prepare to depart the city, Connie picks up a letter Louise had written. Tyron asks what it says, but her only response is to tear it to shreds and walk away from the cliffs, overlooking the beach. I forget what determines that. I think it's the difference between ending B and C. We got the desert wolves. The wolves were enraged, for the actions of foolish humans had caused the desert to consume their beloved forest. Yet even after their trees were gone,
Report. Success.
and their water a distant memory, the pack leader still had faith in man. So while his wolves would quarrel with humans over sustenance at times, he strove to ensure they caused no more strife than necessary. Oh my god, I forgot how weird the wolves looked in the game. It's got the eyes up here. But then the humans embarked upon a series of large-scale wolf hunts, merely to ensure the king's wedding would not be disrupted. What have we done to earn such wrath? The pack leader wondered. One by one, his charges were caught in traps and killed, despite doing nothing but taking what they needed to survive, an action that was only necessary because the humans destroyed their previous home. Finally, the wolves could take no more, and any who could fight devoted themselves to the quest for revenge. I've been a fool to believe we could coexist, thought the pack leader, as he choked down bitter regrets. And now that we have killed their queen, the humans will retaliate in kind. Any chance we had for peace has been lost.
Catch.
The king of Facade screams that there can be no peace. He screams just as we did. Pierced by a large spear, twitching on the ground that had once been a beautiful forest, the pack leader returns to a memory from long ago, one from a distant past before he became a shade. I've already lived for far too long, but you must endure. His grandfather's voice.
Fresh.
They had been so happy together, but the old man told him they must part ways in order for the wolf to live a long, full life. It broke the wolf's heart to bid farewell to the human he loved so much, but he had been unable to put his emotions into words. Go, live, and think of me now and again. Thank you for being my friend. The wolf thought he would live enough for the both of them, and he swore to remember his grandfather always. So he tried to get along with humans,
Confirmed.
as he had before, and thought of his grandfather often so he might not forget, because the old man had meant everything. Grandfather, grandfather, grandfather. The proud wolf's last words roll onto a sea of sand, where dry wind whisks them off to oblivion. We got the disappearance of the Airy. I didn't have it in the water. Odd observation. Fishing seemed to have calmed the Unit 9S's revenge for Unit 2B. What revenge? Who's 2B? All I know is that I need to catch this damn swordfish. I swear to God. We got a little bit of an inside look at NieR's mindset after the Devil and Popola fight. He was sucked into a collapsing vacuum and disappears. Who are we? What is this battle even about? As NieR cowers on the floor, questioning all he has ever known, Kaine storms over, kicks him out of his stupor, and yanks him to his feet.
Report. Failed. Report. Success.
Ah, this is neat. This is neat. The small round objects are newborn shade babies, their voices sounding strangely like laughter to NieR and his friends. When a giant shade in the shape of a boar
Detected.
makes Kaine question herself, Tyron uses it as an attempt to rile her up. Maybe you shouldn't have killed her friends. Look at her, so full of scorn and hate. She's just like you, Sunshine. But Kaine is beginning to show the strength that comes from having discovered her convictions. Like you're any different, she whispers as blood drips from her twin swords. Hate is just another crutch for you. You're in pain.
Report. Success.
You're lonely, no one likes you, so you try to hide it under violence and hate. Not like that at all, screams Tyron. Kaine can tell she's upset him. Her left arm is seething so much it causes physical pain. Her left eyeball is hot as well. Surely that was also tiring. It couldn't possibly be because she's holding back tears.
Catch confirmed.
After losing a meal, Kaine and NieR charge into the passage that connects to the highest floor. Once there, NieR doubles over and makes no attempt to get up again. The spectacle fills Kaine with a surge of emotion that isn't quite anger, but also isn't sorrow. Almost without realizing it, she storms over to him and lifts him off the ground, and with a swift kick to the midsection, then grabs his limp body
Report.
and
Fresh.
slams it against the wall. She pulls back her fist to punch him in the face, but manages to regain control just in time. Seemingly dismayed over her own behavior, she suddenly steps away. A warm, quiet feeling had just flown through her, one she lacks the words to express or explain. We got a description of ending A and ending B. We got ending C and D. This confirms that NieR does kiss her before she dies. Ending D. Are you crying? The girl asks. Yeah, I guess I am. Kaine feels a memory flutter within her heart, as well as the sensation of a white wave washing over her. But when she pulls the image closer, she realizes nothing is there at all. Absolutely nothing. And yet, it's like I just found something special, she says, as she looks out the window at countless beams of light. Something very special. Then we got ending E.
Report. Success. Report. Fresh.
Now this could be worth reading again, because I feel like this will become relevant in this game somehow. I do not know how, but when she arrives at the Forest of Myth in the Guard's Stead, when Kaine arrives at the Forest of Myth in the Guard's Stead, she discovers two disturbing sights: the slaughtered bodies of the village's residents, and robots.
Catch.
Oh my god. That makes 7. I thought it was the real fish for a second there. So did I. So did I. So did I.
Catch confirmed.
Alright. Anyway. She discovers two disturbing sights: the slaughtered bodies of the village's residents, and robots streaming out of the giant tree at the forest's heart. What are those things doing here? She wonders aloud. Wait, did they kill the villagers? Kaine advances deeper into the heart of the forest, reducing every robot who attacks her to scrap. Before long, she hears a pair of mysterious voices. Welcome to the Sea of Humanity, says one. Welcome to the cemetery of sin and punishment, says the other. The voices seem to know who she is, but who are they and where are they coming from? A now thoroughly annoyed Kaine presses on to find answers. This is an integrated information management database designed to resemble a perennial plant. It transmits phenomena recorded in its memory unit. As the voices prattle on with their indecipherable nonsense and claim to be recording her data, Kaine swears to cut them down the moment they show their faces. But when they finally reveal themselves, the speakers turn out to be a pair of young twins who don't appear to be living beings. As soon as they open their mouths to speak, however, Kaine cuts through them without a word, just as she vowed she would, but her attack does nothing at all. We won't get anywhere like this, says the female twin. Now then, let us fight. The forest's administrators, as they call themselves, effortlessly return to life and begin generating giant robots to attack her.
No response.
But no robot of any size poses a threat to Kaine, and after dispatching them, she follows the twins' invitation to proceed deeper into the tree. You are strong, one of the twins declares when Kaine reaches a new area. We have taken the liberty of sampling that strength. With that, the twins unleash an army of robotic Kaine clones. The foes are her equal in ability, and each time she cuts one down, another appears.
Fight detected.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Just make sure I did it. I mean, there's still more fishing to do, but that is the rarest fish in the game. By far. Holy shit!
Complete.
Oh my god, get me out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus shit. What the fuck? What did I do that? What did I do all that for? A large fish that swims with with incredible speed. Known as the King of the Seas, it doesn't have a particular use, though it does make you feel good about yourself when you catch one. Huzzah for you. Blow it out your ass. I'm saving immediately. Huzzah. What are we fucking... Who was it that said that? H.C. Bailey? Deceased crab? It's been a while. Oh, Jesus Christ. There is a fish that is almost as rare that I have seen people say have taken them a very long time to catch. So we're gonna go after that one next. As far as I know, every fish after this one is fairly common. This one is at the Oasis. And I thought I caught it. It's called the beetlefish. Where is the Oasis? I need to remember. because I don't want to spend a bunch of time looking for it. Well, let me warp to the center. Let me warp to the center. Zom. I'm gonna celebrate this swordfish catch. Be right back while I get myself a cupcake. Hell yeah, dude. Do it. Do it. I want a cupcake. I have by far eaten enough today though.
Commencing fishing.
Aiming for the beetlefish.
Report failed. detected.
Here, bitch.
Catch confirmed. Catch.
There's not many fish you can catch here. Which apparently doesn't change much. Considering, again, I read that people spent a good portion of time here.
Catch lost.
And they're really not biting here, are they? Holy shit.
Report failed. Report fresh.
Let me finish reading ending E of NieR Replicant. also called the Lost World.
Light detected.
With that, the twins unleash an army of robotic Kaine clones. The foes are her equal in ability, and each time she cuts one down, another appears. Little by little, she feels her strength begin to fade until suddenly she hears a familiar voice. Kaine, are you okay? With that, Emil appears to save the day. There's no time to ruminate on this unexpected reunion, so the pair sets to work finding a way out of the twins' trap. But fighting alongside Emil causes a new question to rise in Kaine. Didn't we have another battlefield companion? As if in reply, the voices of the twins echo through the underground chamber. Beyond here lies that which was lost, the final hope for you to reclaim. The central chamber that spreads out before Kaine and Emil strongly resembles the Shadow Lord's castle they had infiltrated years ago. Kaine, begins Emil. I feel like I've forgotten something really important. Tell me about it, she responds. While the two share a sense of loss, neither can remember why. Setting that aside, they enter the chamber and discover a white cube called the code frame of the forest. The core frame of the forest, sorry.
Report failed.
Which contains all manner of information about the world. The twins then tell Kaine that the lost memories she seeks can be found within, before doubling down on their confusing speech. Would you two shit sacks please shut up, Kaine growls.
Catch confirmed.
Finally, she decides to ignore them and attack the cube instead. As she does, a familiar voice cries out, "You don't get to decide who lives and who dies." It's the same voice from her dreams, yet she still can't recall who it belongs to. But as Kaine continues to pummel the cube, she is suddenly pulled into another place. This is your world, the twins say together. Sweet memories from deep within, bitter memories that were sealed away. Kaine begins attacking a black box that appears before her, causing an army of the shades she battled over her life to appear. Even their voices, which she hasn't shared with anyone.
Catch.
And recreated perfectly. Finally, her worst memory returns. The shade who killed her grandmother stands before her. I'll kill you as many times as it takes, you goddamn shit-fucking despicable piece of garbage. In addition to facing an even mightier version of her nemesis, illusions repeatedly appear around her. With every hit,
Catch.
more of Kaine's consciousness seems to be swallowed in a sea of remembrance, and she finds herself beset by despair and regret. Just when it seems she's about to lose sight of what she has been fighting for, she hears a voice. It infuriates and it irritates her, yet at the same time is somehow nostalgic and warm. Do hurry back now, hussy. That's right, she realizes. There was another I traveled with, and I've been fighting to get him back. His sword once more. Kaine and Grimoire Weiss fight off the nightmares together. She understands now. All of this was to get him back. Light without end envelops her. With the battle over, a massive white flower blooms over the land. Emil stands watch as Kaine sits atop it with something very special cradled in her arms. So, here we have another section of very interesting deeper, spoiler-filled dives that reveal various details about the game's major and minor characters. I am excited to read more of this. NieR, Experimental Weapon Number 7. Project Snow White set out to create weapons that could defeat Legion, those who have gone berserk due to white chlorination syndrome. Emil, aka Experimental Weapon Number 7, was the 7th model.
Catch confirmed.
Created through human experimentation. As the greatest powers the scientists could achieve had already been bestowed on their experimental weapon number 6, number 7 was given petrifying eyes that could turn number 6 to stone if it became necessary. However, number 7 wasn't able to control his power and soon began unleashing it on anything and everything he saw. Keep his ability in check. Emil lives his life with his eyes perpetually blindfolded. While he denigrates himself over this situation, NieR and Kaine accept him without reservation, an act that earns his unconditional trust. The feelings he holds for NieR also include some measure of romantic love, though NieR never becomes aware of this. Unbeknownst to Emil, Kaine quickly realizes the depth of his feelings, which becomes a source of stress as she finds herself similarly attracted to their companion. Oh my god.
Report failed.
I didn't know that Kaine knew. And I didn't even put that together, like that could be a source of stress between them, you know? Shit. After absorbing the powers of number 6, Emil gains access to powerful magic and the ability to control his petrification, but he also transforms into a hideous skeletal form, one with enough vitality to survive as a disembodied head.
Report fresh.
Emil was named after Ludwig Emil Grimm, the younger of the brothers Grimm, due to his connection to Snow White. He was originally named Snow at the start of development. Oh, that's cute. Okay.
Report fresh.
Lua, Experimental Weapon Number 6. Emil's sister, Halua, is a cute young girl who resembles Emil and has always looked after him. When she is transformed into Experimental Weapon Number 6, the scientists leave her human soul intact, which causes her to go berserk. Unable to repress the incredible power of her magic, the researchers decide to turn her brother, Emil, into a countermeasure in order to destroy her. In the end, Halua senses Emil's desires and entrusts her power to him before she dies. Halua is named after the confection Alva. In the early stages of the project, there were plans to have her serve as a party member instead of Emil. Interesting. The confection Alva? Is it possibly pronounced the same way? I think it is pronounced Halua. Or at the very least, that's one of the many names. It's a type of confectionery that is spread throughout the Middle East and North Africa, East Africa, Eastern Europe and the Balkans, Central Asia and South Asia. The name refers to a broad variety of recipes, generally a thick paste made from flour, butter, oil, saffron, holy shit, rose water, milk, turmeric powder, and sugar. There's gotta be a lot of sugar in there for me to call it a confection or a dessert. Because that is a lot of savory things in there. Kind of like a block. Interesting that the roles may have been reversed, though, in terms of which one of the weapons died. The Prince of Facade. The prince becomes the ruler of the law-abiding masked people after the Black Scroll kills his father, a succession that leaves the monarchy diminished in the eyes of his tribe.
No response.
In an attempt to restore their faith, he decides to visit the Barren Temple and claim a symbolic mask. When NieR arrives at the temple to rescue him and help complete the trial, an enduring friendship is born.
Report. Success.
No idea what this fish looks like. 5 years later, wolves kill his childhood sweetheart Fira at their wedding, after which NieR's party helps the now king achieve vengeance. Deeply grateful to NieR for risking his life on his behalf, the king repays the favor by leading his army into battle against the Shades in the Shadow Lord's castle. The king is a good man at heart, and one who innately understands that while rules are an important tool of order, they cannot be allowed to impede progress.
Report. Success.
His real name is Sechs. I needed to clarify because I think it's pronounced sex, which is German for six. Then we got Fira. When Fira is young,
Catch confirmed.
her family sends her to serve the masked people after her face is badly burned. As a non-citizen, she is forbidden from speaking, and Fira honors that rule by communicating solely with hand signals and body language. After Kane saves Fira from a pack of wolves, she comes to regard her newfound savior with gratitude and devotion.
Light detected.
Fira grows to love the prince, who considers her his first friend, and at age 15 the two are married. But when angry wolves attack their wedding, she sacrifices her young life to protect her king. Her name is Vier in the Japanese version, which is German for four. The king's advisor. The veteran soldier has served as an advisor to the royal family of the masked people since the previous king's reign.
Report. Fresh.
As a living encyclopedia of the masked people's many rules, the advisor endures much consternation on account of the new king's independent streak. But as he believes in the king's worthiness more strongly than anyone, he continues to pester him. Though the king is occasionally annoyed by his advisor's nagging, he understands the reasoning behind it and in turn trusts in him completely. His name is Neun, which is German for 9. Interesting. So they're all German and they have numbered names. Jacob, a Junkheap older brother. Jacob is a serious-minded young man who lives in the foothills of the Junkheap and takes care of Gideon, his younger brother. Since his mother ran off with a lover,
Report. Success.
he's made a living upgrading weapons with materials he extracts from the heap. Despite knowing the dark hows and whys of their mother's death, He has the strength to maintain a positive attitude in his brother's presence. Meeting NieR eventually helps him come to terms with his love for his mother. Despite how she abandoned them, he is killed when his brother's carelessness causes heavy machinery to fall on him in the junk heap. His character is named Jacob in the Japanese version of NieR Gestalt, and the English localizations of NieR Gestalt and NieR Replicant version 1.22, but is named Jiminy in the Japanese versions of NieR Replicant and version 1.22, after Jiminy Cricket from The Adventures of Pinocchio.
Catch lost.
I did know that. Gideon, junk heap younger brother. Gideon is the younger of the two brothers who live outside the junk heap. He is free to behave in a spoiled and irresponsible fashion while Jacob looks after him.
Report. Success.
The death of his mother only makes him more childishly dependent on his elder brother.
Report. Failed.
After his actions led to Jacob being crushed to death by machinery,
Report. Fresh.
he protects his own ego by convincing himself that a robot killed his brother, and begins creating powerful weapons to exact revenge. Gideon is haunted by the fact he tore off Jacob's arm while trying to extract him from the machinery, and begins self-mutilating his own arms as a result. Eventually, this goes far enough that he is forced to replace his left limb with an artificial one. He is named after the untrustworthy cat in The Adventures of Pinocchio. Interesting.
Report. Success.
Like, was it mentioned in the game that that's why he has an artificial arm? I may have just forgotten. Oh, their mother's name is Blue.
Catch.
Blue, junk heap mother. After the brother's mother flees a violent husband, she is unable to find any satisfaction in her new life
Report.
and takes to physically abusing her children. Oh. Unable to work, cook, or raise her progeny effectively, she relies on her eldest son, Jacob, to do everything. After being wooed by a younger man, she decides to abandon her children and escape the junk heap with them to start a new life. However, they are both killed by a robotic security system during the attempt. The mother's real name is Blue, after the blue fairy who breathes life into the puppet in The Adventures of Pinocchio. Carlo, the mother's boyfriend. Young, short-sighted, and ambitious, Carlo woos Blue from her junk heap home. Lacking even a shred of affection for her two sons,
Report. Success.
he convinces her to abandon them and start a new life with him. He's named after Carlo Collodi, author of The Adventures of Pinocchio. I'm not fishing right now. Shit. Ursula, the lighthouse lady. Ursula is an old woman who lives in the seafront lighthouse. Rude, stubborn, and widely disliked throughout the city, she starts bossing NieR and his friends around the moment she meets them. But when she speaks of her husband, who is injured in a distant land and is unable to come home, a glimpse of the innocent young woman she might have once have been shines through. Unbeknownst to Ursula, her husband is already dead. Anxious about the progression of her own black scrawl, she yearns to cross the sea and be with him once more. Sadly, she dies with that dream unfulfilled. And a bad mom after a good character, though. Are you talking about Blue? Oh, the Blue Fairy. Yeah. I was confused for a second. My mind short-circuited.
Report. Failed.
No better than a fucking machine! Hans, the postman.
Fight detected.
It might be good to know what I'm looking for so I can get proper excited when it shows up. Nah. I'll just keep guessing. I'm sure I'll know it when I see it.
Report. Fresh.
Pillowfish are the most common here. Hans takes his work seriously, including worrying about Ursula, who lives alone in the lighthouse and has no interest in connecting with others.
Report. Fresh.
Knowing her husband is dead, he keeps her hope alive by writing letters he claims are from him.
Catch.
This twisted practice was started by his own father, and while Hans feels it would be wrong for him to unilaterally end it. He constantly questions whether or not he is doing the right thing. When she finally dies without knowing the truth, it fills him with a mixture of relief and regret. 5 years later, he exposes the people of his city to danger by forging a relationship with Louise. But even after he learns the truth about her, the time they shared remains special to him. He's named after the author of The Little Mermaid, Hans Christian Andersen. I put that together.
No response.
Red bag couple. This married seafront couple can be identified by the matching red bags they wear, which they purchased as an anniversary present. They have a habit of letting minor slights balloon into major disagreements, which has made them something of a tourist attraction.
Report. Report. Fresh.
It's the swordfish part 2. Despite their squabbles, the way they talk to each other and proudly display their matching accessories makes it clear their love is real. The first time NieR meets them, the husband
Report. Failed.
First time NieR meets them, the husband is too worried about his missing wife to do his job, repairing the canal. 5 years later, he goes missing while working as a ferryman along the same canal. His wife asks NieR to find him, and he eventually turns up as one of Luis's victims on
Catch.
the shipboard. Alright, from here is the guide for the game. We got a whole bunch of information. We got percentage information, stats, this shit is crazy. There's a lot of kind of goes over my head a little bit.
Report. Success.
Got an enemy list, a story walkthrough. So you can get a recap of the story, and then you can get a recap of how your adventure went.
Fight detected.
Did what I say just make sense? I feel like I'm losing the plot. I feel my mind glazing over. The water, the fresh water flowing through my brain, my veins. I am become fish,
Report. Success.
right? I am become fish.
Catch. Catch confirmed.
Oh, that's cool. The idle animations for Kaine when you play as her in Replicant. Fans may recognize the poses she strikes as being from classic NieR dress stalk and NieR Replicant promotional art. Due to the rise in shade activity, the waterways are no longer usable, and thanks to rampaging robots, the junk heap has been sealed off. Destroying the Shadow Lord seems to not have brought peace to the world after all. a kingdom for a fucking beetlefish.
Catch lost.
Here we go. We've gone to the next interesting section. The Abyss of NieR Part 3. A deeper dive into the game's enemy characters. Learn what each of your foes is fighting for.
Report. Success.
This one, despite whether or not we catch this beetlefish, I'm probably going to finish this page. Hansel and Gretel. The two shades who guard Grimoire Weiss at the Lost Shrine fight as one. They have unconditional trust and faith in each other.
Catch.
And take great pride in their duty as guardians of Grimoire Weiss. After Hansel was slain by NieR, Gretel descended into madness
Fresh.
for a long time. However, Gretel was surrounded by small shades that the pair had, in their pride, once regarded with contempt. The shades treated Gretel with such kindness that it gradually became ashamed of its past arrogance. Ultimately, Gretel came to see the smaller shades as friends.
Detected.
And vowed to become strong again in order to defend them. However, when NieR came to the Lost Shrine in search of clues, Gretel was slain alongside the smaller shades it had vowed to protect. Hansel and Gretel were named after the titular characters of the Grimm's fairy tale. Hook. Patty is obsessed with getting revenge against this area shade, who brutally murdered her grandmother. This shade was born from the fusion of multiple gestalts, which swelled its ego and made it so cruel as to seek not only to slaughter replicants, but to attempt to desecrate its victims' memories as well. Sorry, I lost my spot. Swelled its ego and made it so cruel as to seek not only to slaughter replicants, but to attempt to desecrate its victims' memories as well. As its awareness of itself
Failed.
as an individual being is thoroughly broken down, it is in a fully berserk state. It was named after the pirate Captain Hook from the story of Peter Pan. We're cooked. Wendy. After Kanye's resurrection, this is the giant shade that NieR battles upon his first return to the area in many years. Like Hook, it is an amalgamation of gestalts, but its sentience is formed in part by replicants as well, who are only supposed to have the most rudimentary of quasi-personalities. As a result, it has no concept of self or reason, and is barely able to communicate.
No response.
It has become a ball of hatred that moves while spitting out words like curses, driven by a strong impulse to kill. It was named after the heroine from the story of Peter Pan. Defense System Geppetto. The giant security system at the heart of the junk heap was once an ordinary machine that performed durability testing. Giant security system at the heart of the junk heap.
Report failed.
This is very small. It was once an ordinary machine that performed durability testing on weaponry and robots manufactured at the military plant. Over the years, it has begun to degrade and now immediately activates in response to the presence of intruders and initiates durability tests against them. Even if they are gestalts or replicants, it was named after Geppetto, the watchmaker father of Pinocchio in The Adventures of Pinocchio. Khalil is a juvenile gestalt who fled into the junk heap to hide from replicant shade hunters.
Fight detected.
His mother sacrificed herself to save him. He was killed by the pursuing replicants. Still a young and innocent child, Khalil met a robot named P-33 and befriended it for companionship.
Catch.
Khalil was named after Cleo in the Japanese versions, named after the goldfish that appears in The Adventures of Pinocchio. P-33 is a junk heap defense robot that faithfully
Catch confirmed.
pursues its security duties.
Report failed.
I think I missed one. God damn it.
Report failed.
Did I double tap? After Geppetto's destruction left P-33 confused about what its duty was, it encountered Khalil by chance. Khalil taught P-33 all sorts of things. The P-33 found itself touched enough by the young shade's innocence that protect Khalil became its primary objective. You might imagine P-33 was not used to dealing with children and goes so far as to avoid any sudden movements in his presence to avoid accidentally hurting him. The P in its model number stands for Pinocchio from The Adventures of Pinocchio. Sleeping Beauty. The strange tree in the mist and mystery-shrouded forest of myth afflicts people with the death dream. In truth, the tree is a mesoparticle-fueled network computer that is sharing veiled information and conceals deeper truths.
Fresh.
Its storage network was cut off from the outside when the world fell into ruin, but it continues to maintain it indefinitely its name comes... Ah,
Fight detected.
I missed the period. It continues to maintain it indefinitely. Its name comes from the fairy tale Sleeping Beauty. Mesoparticle-fueled network computer. Alright. Shariar. Shariar is a being enshrined at the heart of the desert's barren temple. It serves to determine if a member of the nobility is fit to be king.
Report. Success.
Wait. Hey. And bestows the king's mask upon the worthy. When the previous king dies, his mask is relinquished. The stone statue fights as if it had a human mind, perhaps possessed by a gestalt. The trial is apparently designed that's with such that when a candidate for the throne defeats Shariar, it is revived when the next candidate attempts the trial. Shariar is named for the Persian king Shahryar, who appears in 1001 Nights. I love when it doesn't tell me that there's something there. It's my favorite part. It's my favorite part. It is interesting that the name of a foolish king who marries and then executes countless women is used in the game for a being who selects kings. Again.
Catch.
Like, it's been suspiciously quiet for a long time. Wolfpack leader, Rock. Rock leads the pack of wolves who live in the desert. Leads. Possessed of both majesty and high-mindedness. His pack...
Fight detected.
Come on.
Fight detected.
1,300 years ago, this wolf was a dog being kept by an old man who thinks of his grandfather. Rock was given the Gestalt process in grandfather's place, granting him an eternal life.
Report failed.
Because of his cherished memories from when he was grandfather's pet, Rock seeks to live a peaceful life and refrain from battling replicants, who share that same human form of his grandfather. However, he understands that those same replicants took his home from him and have killed his brethren. Ultimately, he declares that both cannot coexist, and leads his pack to a final battle against the replicants. His name comes from the giant bird Sinbad encounters in 1001 Nights, which I'm assuming is also the origin of the name for
Catch lost.
the bird enemies in Zelda, because they're also called Rocks, R-O-C. Bitch.
Catch.
React. when you have something on you, laws of physics state gravity exists. I've been at this for how long? God damn.
Report.
I wasn't wrong.
Success.
Fishing all night. It would be nice to make this next bit of progress.
Catch.
Waiting a week to play when I have this to look forward to every single time. It's taking its toll. But I will not give up. Never give up! Against all odds. Grimoire Root Room. Root Room slumbers away deep in the heart of Neil's manor. As with all grimoires, within it is sealed a Gestalt, which is the source of its powerful magical abilities. However, unlike Grimoire Vice and Noir, it hasn't been programmed to speak or comprehend human speech, and its powers are limited to little more than supporting the programs of those two volumes. Its name comes from the Latin word for red. Jack, the Knave of Hearts. An amalgam of numerous gestalts.
Fight detected.
Pizza shit. Pizza shit. Jack has lost any sense of self or individuality and is now driven primarily by murderous impulses. The one thing it does remember is the mission given to it by the Shadow Lord. Bring Yona to me. Due to its unquenchable vitality, once slain it simply rises again and again. One thing it does remember is the mission given to it by the Shadow Lord, bring Yona to me. Due to its unquenchable vitality, once slain, it simply rises again and again. It was able to advance to the library where Yona was hiding. Oh, I'm not... Bitch. Its name comes from one of the Queen of Hearts' card soldiers in Alice in Wonderland. Goose!
Report. Success.
The Gestalt babies and their parents that make up this amalgamated shade are not in relapse, and continue to possess intelligence and resolve, but they burn with anger over NieR and his companions, who have cruelly murdered so many of their brethren. It is able to repeatedly revive itself due to the sheer volume of Gestalts it contains, but it is not immortal.
Fight detected.
Its name is derived from the Mother Goose fairy tales.
Report. Success.
Please. Did I just get raided? This got a whole bunch of viewers. Hi. Welcome to the fishing stream. We just caught a swordfish. We're going for the beetlefish now. Wheeze is a shade. Oh yeah, I'm reading. We're more near. Keep things interesting.
Catch confirmed.
Louise is a shade prepared by Devil and Popola in order to stop the Shadow Lord in the event he stopped cooperating with their plans. He arrived in the region where NieR and the others live by an adrift ship that washed ashore in the seafront. The ship had been a slaving vessel.
Fresh.
Louise had been treated cruelly while upon it. Louise did not originally attack and consume people, but during her time as a slave,
Detected.
oh, the pod. The ship had been a slaving vessel, and Louise had been treated cruelly while upon it. Louise did not originally attack and consume people. During her time as a slave, she was told that
Report.
she could become human by consuming humans. She later decided to test that theory in order to live with the postman. When she finally encounters NieR's party,
Catch. Catch.
she finally encounters NieR's party, who have come to Seafront to investigate a rash of missing persons. They fight. Louise's power is overwhelming, so much so that she can even regenerate herself in sunlight.
Report. Success.
And she manages to drive NieR and his companions to the brink of death. In battle. At one point, Devil and Popola are heard saying that she doesn't have a receptacle, so she can't become human no matter how badly she wants to. This suggests that Louise was an artificially created Gestalt who never had a corresponding replicant.
Report. Fresh.
Jesus. Louise is named after Louise Collin, a girl. Louise is named after Louise Collin,
Confirmed.
a girl courted by The Little Mermaid author Hans Christian Andersen. She did not reciprocate his interest. Okay. That makes sense, because the postman's name was Hans. That's nice. So,
Success.
this section of the book is concept art. I'm not really gonna switch to the camera for every single thing on these pages. A lot of this is concept art for the remaster, actually. Which is kind of interesting. Cool as this concept art section is, there's not much that I can be reading for y'all. I mean, there is, but like it correlates to the concept art. So it's like I'm just going to be reading little factoids about pieces of art that I'm not showing on screen. We got visual works for the original release. Stop doing it! Come on!
Confirmed.
Let me know when there's a fish there. Holy shit. We got the initial proposal. The Book of Death. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a
Light detected.
closer look at some of this at some point in my future.
Report. Fresh.
The initial proposal, though. This proposal was developed at the start of the NieR project. Themes such as love, a destroyed world, and a word system would end up making it all the way through to the development of NieR Replicant and Gestalt. The section about the 13 grimoires shows that Grimoire Vice was there from the start. The Eyrie, the Forest of Myth, and other locations can be seen on the early world map. The game's setting seems to have been locked in fairly early.
No response.
NieR, who fights with power gained from the Grimoire of Endings. The concept of fighting to save his sister from an incurable disease was already there at this point. Kaine, with half her body corrupted by a shade, seals herself away to save NieR. According to the document, she possesses the Grimoire of Swords. Interesting. Lua, the porcine spellcaster who controls the Grimoire of Magic. She was originally a young human girl, but was turned into another form as the price for gaining magic.
Report. Fresh.
Hello. Hey, Lucy Vibes. Hope your stream and night is both are going well. Thank you. I hope yours are as well. Sorry, I'm not looking up at the screen very often. I'm got my face in a book.
No response. Catch confirmed.
By the way, which games are you like to play mostly in stream? Everything. I've spent the last 10 hours in this game, I think, fishing. But it's a RPG game, an action RPG. I play visual novels, I play horror games. Platformers. Apparently here they were gonna have Humpty Dumpty. They were gonna have the Grimoire of Axes.
Report.
Hansel was and Gretel were the original. They had the Grimoire of Illusions. Dorothy, Grimoire of Staves. Eats Children's Souls. Very interesting. We got a nice picture of Kaine with the between of her legs covered with her foot. Love that. By the way, your painting look is so dope. Painting look, what do you mean? Oh, painting! Over there. Yeah, a friend of mine made that. It's based on Terminal Montage, the YouTube animator.
Report. Success.
I didn't throw it out again. Ah! Cool, we have a section here on Father NieR called The Memory of NieR Gestalt, Recollection and Reconstruction.
Report. Success.
The alternate story of fatherly love has not been forgotten. Let's revisit the paternal protagonist of the other NieR. It's also all on a black page. There's actually new artwork for him in here for the version 1.22. Pretty cool looking.
Fight detected.
I'm glad he got some love here. Act 1, age 39. Act 2, age 44. Height is 6'1". Hair is silver, nearly white. Eyes are ashen blue.
Catch.
As a follower. As a... What? Just came out of my mouth. Character as a father. The protagonist of NieR Gestalt has been raising his daughter Yona alone since his wife passed. He is a mature adult, possessed of both strength and kindness, and he has no tolerance for injustice. He meets the hardships of life
Catch confirmed.
with his large and well-trained body and a toughened spirit to match. However, he also has a doting side when it comes to his daughter. While always firm and decisive, his resolve has only hardened since Yona began exhibiting symptoms of the Black Scroll. He frantically searches for a cure, showing little heed to the shades who stand in his way. His feet are interesting. He has socks on? Why are his feet so white? Anyway. By the way, your art overlay look is so dope. Did you make it yourself? No, a friend of mine made it. I also have a friend I go to for commissioning emotes and stuff like that. So just in case you're one of those people who want to offer me commission
Report.
opportunities,
Fresh.
I'm broke, I have no money, And I already have someone lined up to do that. Oh. Just a heads up. Character as a villager, unwilling to leave his sickly daughter alone for any great length of time, NieR restricts himself to short one-day jobs like driving off shades and helping villagers with heavy deliveries. The villagers understand that this is an expression of his love for her. He has built up good relationships with them, especially Popola, who he often turns to for advice. Here, the Shadow Lord's Assault. In the town, an abduction of Yona, and NieR left the village and devoted himself to waging war upon the Shades. His change in temperament, and behavior has not gone unnoticed, but those around him continue to regard him with the same care and concern. So why don't you have an animated emotes and sub-badges? I haven't gotten around to it. I was only able to commission a couple. It's not like my friend is super expensive either. I have ideas for sub-badges and stuff. I had money for a brief moment, and now I don't. So. Version 1.22. This man appears in the recurring nightmare world of
Report. Success.
15 nightmares. He has the same voice and cuts the same figure as Gestalt NieR, but the game does not reveal the meaning behind them. Very interesting thing to say. Key concept: father and daughter. Yona lost her mother at such a young age that she barely even remembers her, and no one understands the loneliness Yona feels better than NieR does. He is determined not to let any more sorrow into her life, and is prepared to do whatever he must to achieve this. At times, this resolve fails him, such as when the tales he tells to encourage his daughter have unintended consequences, or when he can't help but worry about her competence as he eats her nearly inedible cooking. His sincere yet clumsy fathering is part of the reason the villagers regard the pair so fondly. Works.
Report.
Artworks. These pages present the PlayStation 4 theme and Avatar CG art produced as bonus content included with the first copies of the game's physical PS4 version. This section also includes the trophy and achievement icons.
Fight detected.
Yeah, pretty much all of the achievements in this game, except for there's one for speedrunning the game, I believe.
Report.
Yeah, the light speed fighter. Oh wow, perfect. I recently completed some of awesome animated emotes and sub-badges, so you want to see that? I advise against doing. Thank you. Brenton, wait. I do not have a Discord. I should make a Discord eventually. They will probably not... I don't know. I don't think they'll respond. So hesitant to judge, you know? Ugh. Oh wow. There's actually a whole section here for like celebrate NieR's 11th anniversary and the release of version 1.22. An online art exhibition titled NieR Art Gallery was held as part of a European promotional push for the game. It featured original artwork from 11 Western artists. So there's a whole little section just for those artworks. Again, a whole bunch of stuff that would take a lot of effort to improperly show. Just some cool stuff. No artists that I recognize.
Catch lost.
I appreciate it though. Thank you, Crescent Flame. Is this all... This looks like... Oh man. Project Gestalt outline. Ow! So this feels like a compilation of basically all of the timelines that you get both in the game and in some of the stories in this book. Because there's some, like, Gestalt information...
Report. Success.
In this book in the form of short stories and little paragraphs and stuff. But all of it seems to be compiled here in some easy to read, well, easy to decipher timeline at the very least. Problem that just bothers me because I get that line of questioning every other stream at times. Yeah, it was happening to me for a while too.
Confirmed.
It's hard because I don't feel like, especially as someone who doesn't get a lot of viewers, being on the offensive is not my first reaction. I don't know. But I've definitely clocked, like... I clocked that message 1. But again, I don't feel like I'm in the right position to judge or... You know, attack.
confirmed.
But some of those messages definitely felt like they were so fast. Definitely felt automated to a certain extent.
Fight detected.
That's very sleepy now, bruh. Gonna end it. Lucy, buddy. I do not have a Discord. I'm not in a commissioning position. If you're actually there listening. If you continue to ask this is not the first.
Report. Success.
Do you understand all that? Okay. Alright. So
Report. Fresh.
there's likely some interesting information in this whole timeline. Like, I could read this whole timeline word for word. And I probably will do so to myself. But, like, in my own time.
Fresh.
But I feel like it would be a lot to just read aloud on the stream. Maybe I'll do that.
Catch confirmed.
You know, let me read the highlights. Key concepts of Project Gestalt. With humanity teetering on the brink of extinction
Catch confirmed.
due to the spread of the mysterious white chlorination syndrome, Project Gestalt is launched as a last-ditch effort to ensure humanity's survival. Using the same mesoparticles that caused the infection, scientists develop a process that extracts the human soul and turns it into a Gestalt. The physical body is then preserved as data, so the artificial replicant copies
Report. Success.
can be created and managed while a means of eradicating the disease is pursued. Gestalts, human souls that have been separated from their bodies in order to protect them from the white chlorination syndrome. A vulnerability to sunlight is one defect of the process. Replicants, empty shells left behind after the Gestalt process. Though magically implanted with pseudo-personalities, they lack free will as well as the ability to reproduce.
Fight detected.
Androids, artificial humans created to manage replicants. Their mission is to use replicants to eradicate both the Legion and White Chlorination Syndrome, then restore Gestalts to their original bodies once that task is complete. Legion, former humans
Report
driven to
success.
rampant brutality by White Chlorination Syndrome. Their skin is white due to calcification caused by the disease. While they have reduced intelligence, they also possess increased physical abilities. This section takes all the timeline of events related to Project Gestalt. This section takes all of the details about Project Gestalt from the game's development documents and organizes them into a timeline. It also provides additional details, including commentary and conjecture from writers of this book, about several key items in the outline.
Report failed.
Concepts. The Dragon and the Giant. After the fall of the Red Dragon, the mysterious White Chlorination Syndrome begins to spread. The infected either turn to salt and die, or go berserk and begin attacking others. Out of fear of further proliferation, the Japanese government seals off the Shinjuku ward of Tokyo, the virus's epicenter. As a result, NieR and his sole living relative, Yona, are left to wander the Shinjuku dead zone. White Chlorination Syndrome. A disease transmitted through the inhalation of the Red Dragon's meso-particles. The skin of most infected individuals calcifies, causing death within weeks. Those who survive, however, turn incredibly violent and begin attacking the uninfected. To ensure humanity's survival and stop the spread of the disease, berserk individuals known as the Legion
Report fresh.
are hunted down and eradicated without mercy. Wall of Jericho. A massive wall built to contain the uncontrolled spread of WCS in Shinjuku, presumably named after the wall around the biblical city of Jericho. In that story, God told the Israelites to walk around the city for 7 days, after which the priests blew horns and the wall collapsed. It is unknown if the wall around Shinjuku was built in anticipation of a similar fate, or if its collapse was a coincidence. Is a coincidence. The Legion. Those who escape death at the hands of White Chlorination Syndrome go berserk, referred to as the Legion.
Catch.
These infected become physically stronger but less intelligent. They attack the uninfected at random and pass on the WCS infection, at which point the victims either die or go berserk themselves. As the infection progresses, Legion members become less human in appearance, in some cases swelling to abnormally large sizes. It is speculated that the Legion's goal is to spread WCS in order to destroy the world.
Catch confirmed.
In the game's secret backstory, WCS is a curse from otherworldly gods. Those who fail to resist the curse become part of the Legion and are divinely ordered to destroy our world. Those who do resist turn to salt and die. Such otherworldly gods sound a lot like the ones from Yoko Taro's Drakengard series.
Report success.
Red Eyes. In certain cases, victims infected with high levels of Mesa retain their intelligence after going berserk, permitting them to organize large, aimless groups of Legion and attack the uninfected more effectively. Such entities are called red eyes due to the crimson color of their eyes. Red eyes are more in tune with the otherworldly gods.
Report. Success.
And proactively pursue divine orders to destroy the world. In Drakengard, Mana, a tool of that game's gods, had similar red eyes, as did the Empire soldiers who served her. Okay.
Catch confirmed.
So, not all Legion are red eyes. That's something that wasn't entirely clear to me. Multi-origin theory. The study of the dragon's remains provides evidence for the existence of extra-dimensional worlds, as well as the discovery of the mesoparticles that cause WCS. Further study in the meso leads to the development of magic, a breakthrough for human civilization that sadly arrives too late.
Fight detected.
Gestalts. Magic makes it possible to separate the human soul from the body. Such extracted souls, called gestalts, cannot be infected by WCS. Though the gestalts eventually relapse, losing both sentience and intelligence, this is deemed a problem to be solved at a later time. At first, the process is only available to those with enough wealth to keep their bodies preserved indefinitely, and most people are horrified at the idea of having their souls extracted. So I will actually keep this timeline bookmarked, because I do think I will be returning to it probably next week.
Fight detected.
Unless we hit this beetlefish in the next half hour. Luciferase. A drug that prevents WCS infections. The earlier it is administered, the more effective it is. Children who receive the drug are pushed to join crusades and fight the Legion. The United Nations and Hamlin Organization
Fresh.
hide the fact luciferase doesn't actually prevent WCS, but merely slows the onset of symptoms. Hamlin Organization, a group formed to find physically capable children and train them to fight the Legion, just like the World Purification Commission that oversees Project Gestalt. It is affiliated with the United Nations, but mysteries surround the many corporations which actually fund it. Its existence is initially classified, but comes to light as the war with the Legion expands. National Weapons Laboratory.
Catch.
Possessing little influence within the United Nations, Japan founds this research facility to strengthen its own military. The NWL repeatedly flouts laws prohibiting human experimentation in a mission to develop a magic-based weapon that can harm the Legion. Emil and Halura are among the first
Fight detected.
experimental weapons raised and infused with magic at the NWL. Replicants. Replicants are vessels created with data taken from a Gestalt's former body. When a Gestalt enters its corresponding
Fight
replicant,
detected.
the entirety of their human self is restored. At first, replicants are implanted with simple personalities that leave them unable to take independent action. But as the cycle of dying and being remade from their Gestalt data continues, they begin to develop free will. The black scrawl that corrupts them is an unexpected defect caused by the relapsing of their corresponding gestalts.
Site detected.
Project Gestalt is the umbrella term for the World Purification Commission's various plans to protect humanity by turning them into gestalts, having their replicants eradicate delusion and WCS, then reuniting gestalts and
Catch
replicants.
confirmed.
It's been a while since I caught an Arowana. Grimoire NieR program. The Grimoire NieR program is a part of Project Gestalt that uses magic to insert gestalts into 13 book-like vessels called grimoires. The especially powerful grimoires NieR and Vice are part of a system designed to produce vast amounts of energy. The androids who oversee the replicants are programmed to use this energy
Catch.
to forcibly restore gestalts to their respective replicants. Relapse. Souls that have gone gestalt eventually experience mental breakdowns, go berserk, and begin attacking replicants. To prevent these so-called relapses, they must continuously receive meso from NieR, who has been designated as the original gestalt. NieR provides this meso to the gestalts in order to protect a relapsed Yona, but after 1,000 years of doing so without any progress, he walks away from his role in the plan. At the same time, gestalts who had been receiving his meso began to relapse anyway, a problem Project Gestalt failed to foresee. Devil and Popolo hypothesized that NieR's change of attitude is hastening the relapses. And decide to activate Grimoire NieR program as soon as possible in order to complete the fusion of gestalts and replicants. Another theory, however, posits that relapses are actually the result of intentional coding
Catch confirmed.
by a Project Gestalt programmer who preferred to see replicants rule the world. That's very interesting.
Report. Fresh.
Here's a document, a note from a journalist. I do not know if this is in the game at all. August 3rd, 2053. Weather cloudy. I have a very bad feeling about this. I'm starting to think I'll never get out of here, so I'm going to document everything that happened. I first encountered the phrase Project Gestalt about 8 years ago in 2045. A government contact heard they were doing some sort of research connected to white coronation syndrome, but didn't have solid information beyond that. At that point, I started to hear rumors that a treatment had been found for WCS, but that it was only available to the extremely wealthy. Guessing the treatment might have something to do with Project Gestalt, I launched a full investigation.
Catch confirmed.
Now just imagine, this is being written in 2053. That's 50 years of humans living with this basically zombie virus wreaking havoc through the world. 50 years is a pretty good run. I mean,
Catch.
is that much better than the world we're living in now? I don't know, but wait, so a dude programmed in a relapse because he wants replicants to rule the world, yet it's the relapse that also kills the replicants as well. It is only a theory, apparently. I don't know where this theory comes in, but it is an interesting idea, at least. Of course, that would, something that ironic would come to pass, though.
Report failed.
It kind of makes sense. The first thing that struck me as odd about Project Gestalt was its connection to the Japanese Self-Defense Force.
Report.
The JSDF got a huge boost to their budget after the Legion Act, but their spending was entirely classified. When I started tracing payment records from various companies, I learned they'd been developing a new weapon from Special Technology some 20 years earlier.
Catch.
The tech apparently came from the giant that fell to Earth 50 years previous, but I couldn't learn anything else because everyone involved with the research seemed to be dead. Anyway, while looking into the whole weapon development thing, I stumbled onto a few surprises regarding the Rebuild Your Life program that was part of the government rescue plan that began a decade ago. You know, the one they show on the radio with that cheesy music? Well, I found tons of delivery records between the JSDF and the guy who runs that program. At first I thought it was some kind of military surplus, but turns out I had it backward. The deliveries were from Rebuild Your Life to the JSDF. The receipts list the contents as construction materials, but there's no way they were shipping rebar and 2x4s in the kind of heavily guarded rigs I saw.
Report. Fresh.
So hold on. Back up. Back up. New weapon from Special Technology some 20 years earlier. So this is 2053. More NieR program. Using otherworldly technology.
Catch confirmed.
Uses magic to insert. Wait. Infused with magic. Emil and Halua were infused with magic. But... hold on. Oh, I literally just read it out loud. I was thinking... I read it out loud, but it didn't register in my mind, because I always thought...
Catch.
I always had it stuck in my head that the meso particles that cause... well, no, the particles that cause white chlorination syndrome came from the giant. And the meso particles came from the dragon. But no, the meso particles from the dragon
Fresh.
cause the syndrome. The thing that's confusing me here was... I guess the giant is what gave the magic that they're using, because this guy just said... Tech apparently came from the giant that fell to Earth 50 years previous. Developing a new weapon from special technology. Head back to the first page here, because it has another report from this time period. We've almost confirmed that the particles that made up the giant changed their energy levels in response to observation, but we have no idea what they're reacting to. Variations in the observer's brain waves, body temperature, or differences in atmospheric humidity caused by sweat. Some people believe the particles are reacting to the observer's feelings, but that's no longer science at that point. They brought in cadavers so we can study the connection between the particles and the disease. They look more like statues than bodies, and give an impression similar to the videos we've been shown of the giant. At first I attributed their white color to protein denaturation, but we soon discovered they were composed entirely out of sodium chloride. In other words, they turned to salts. Reports of auditory hallucinations among the infected suggest the damage begins in the brain and spreads from there, but I'll leave that kind of thing to the neuroscientists. I heard from Kobayashi that he says they succeeded in cultivating D tissue using the C of origin, and that, as expected, the density of G particles is an important factor. This should lead to rapid progress in D tissue research. Apparently the tissue is quite resistant to extremes of temperature and pressure, and they'll be arranging experiments to study its resilience on a much grander scale. No matter how many times we run the test, the energy level fluctuations accompanying the cultivation of D tissue defy the law of conservation of energy. If it were observed only at the quantum mechanical level, that'd be one thing, but I can't begin to account for such macro level energy deviation. The source of the excess energy has to be these mysterious G particles.
Catch confirmed.
Apparently, there was some sort of incident with the D tissue resilience tests, and the lack of information makes me suspect it's been classified. Total blackout on research results related to D tissue.
Catch.
Then this report eventually devolves into this guy getting a buzzing in his ears, and then a couple days later, ear buzzing sounds like bells. A couple days later, I can hear a sound. That didn't help me. That didn't help me. The magic comes from the dragon. No, the magic comes from the giant, right? Let's go back to the timeline here. I'd have to read this whole timeline. We will do that next time, for sure. If I'm still fishing. Anyway, back to this journalist note. I got sidetracked. I wanted to know what Rebuild Your Life was really about, so I enrolled in it along with a writer friend named Izuka, though we obviously didn't list our real occupations. I got a weird vibe from all the interviews they conducted in the name of research, but the strangest thing of all was the medical examination. Though the exam was optional, they divided people into two groups based on whether they took it or not. I found it very strange that a medical exam would be part of a financial assistance program.
Catch.
But since we were there to find out what the program was about, we agreed to take it. After the exam, we were assigned to a group of about 30 people of all ages, everyone from kids to the elderly. They all had two things in common. They were very poor and they had no living relatives, which incidentally was something Izuka and I lied about. Once we assembled, they put us on a bus that took us to the Shinjuku Ward Community Center. We were led to a conference room, given some weird books, and told to wait for further instructions. Well, those instructions never came, which ticked off a lot of people. But seeing as we were all exhausted, we decided just to spend the night in that conference room. That's when things really hit the fan. Moments later, some kind of black monster suddenly showed up and started killing members of the group. The rest of us panicked and got the hell out of there quick. Eventually spending the rest of the night together in a ruined building, we still hadn't heard from anyone in the program when the sun came up, so we decided to walk in the direction of Nakano Ward. We followed Omekaido Avenue west to Nakano Hill until we reached a giant wall, apparently a new blockade created from parts of the Wall of Jericho. And that's where I find myself now. We're all still trapped in here, and none of us have any idea why. I mean, the books they gave us don't even have any text in them. My friend Izuka left to get food yesterday and still hasn't returned. It's cold, salt is falling, and it looks just like snow. If you found this message, I'm probably dead. I just hope you can expose the truth of what happened here, whoever you are. Nao Hakamoto. For the record, name Nao Hakamoto, occupation print journalist, location OG Testing Center, Shinjuku. Reference, a digitized copy of the note that was in Hakamoto's possession.
Catch confirmed.
As it involves classified information, it was confiscated rather than passed to his next of kin. The body was cremated. Failure of Project Gestalt and what comes after. Despite including a lot of uncertain elements, Project Gestalt seemed to be going smoothly, but two factors, the relapse of Gestalts and the development of free will among replicants, have doomed the project. With Gestalt NieR, the original Gestalt, dead, any remaining Gestalts will inevitably relapse and perish. And since replicants are unable to reproduce and require data from their Gestalts to create new bodies, will all die out with this generation. We may never know whether replicant NieR knowingly chose Yona out over the world's survival when he killed his Gestalt. But unless a new original Gestalt is found, humanity will disappear from the Earth in the very near future. Oh. Hold up. This isn't before NieR anymore. With Gestalt NieR dead, any remaining Gestalts will inevitably relapse and perish. We may never know whether replicant NieR knowingly chose Yona over the world's survival when he killed his Gestalt, but unless a new original Gestalt is found, humanity will disappear from the Earth in the very near future. So that would explain why his outfit in this game is called the Destroyer outfit.
Fight detected.
So the next section is all weapon stories, and interestingly enough, there are weapon stories when you find weapons that were also in Drakengard, or Drakengard 2.
Catch lost.
They also have the weapon stories from those games as well in this book.
Catch confirmed.
And they have the names for those weapons, the original weapons as well, which is very cool. Might actually have to read through these, because it seems like the stories do kind of connect, which is super cool.
No response.
There's quite a few Drakengard weapons. In NieR.
Catch lost.
The weapon story for Kaide's sword. When it says, because this is the world with
Fight detected.
protagonist name, the protagonist name is censored. That's very cool.
Report. Fresh.
Oh, this is gonna... The next section, Emil's Shade Survey. Look, NieR.
Report.
The exclusive reveal of the Shade reports Emil writes between battles. All your Shade-related questions will be answered. Well, some of them, maybe. Before we get to that, I want to read through Scald Song over here. The sword.
Report. Success.
In Japan, it was named... Oh shit. It's 3 o'clock. This will be the last thing I read. Alright. In Japan, it was called Devil Popolo. So,
Catch confirmed.
Dragon Guard 1. There were two sisters who were renowned as the greatest swordsmiths in the kingdom. No matter who challenged them, none could make a finer sword. One day, a wandering bard visited their home. He sang with a voice so beautiful that the gods wept to hear it, and both sisters fell madly in love with the kind and gallant skald. Each of them set about making the most magnificent sword so that they might win his love, but their bitter rivalry led them to make only dull and brittle blades. Seeing their discord, the skald offered to take both of them as his brides.
Catch.
With their rivalry ended, together the sisters crafted this magnificent sword and named it Skald's Song. Drakengard 2. In a cold land to the north, there lived two sisters who loved each other very much. They made their living as blacksmiths and owned a little workshop in the village. One day they were working hard as usual when a villager ran in and told them that their mother, who had been missing since they were little, had been found. The sisters' mother was trapped inside a glacier on top of a mountain, as beautiful as the day she disappeared. The sisters tried to destroy the glacier, but none of their smithing tools could make any impression on the iron-hard glacial ice. When nothing else showed any sign of working, one of the sisters said, "Sister, what about one of our swords?" So they took their finest creation, Skald's Song, and swung it at the glacier. As the blade touched the ice, there was a mighty explosion, and the sisters found themselves in the loving arms of their long-lost mother. "How you've both grown." Their mother had survived inside the glacier for all that time. The sisters cried tears of joy and talked to their mother for days on end. When they finally got up to leave,
Report. Fresh.
Mother made no attempt to stop them. They were, after all, smiths who commanded fire. NieR weapon story. The sisters were puppets of complex machinery. So fine was their construction that any who laid eyes upon them assumed they were human in every way. They were the embodiment of man's greatest technological achievements. They walked like humans,
Success.
ate like humans, laughed like humans. The one thing they could not do, however, was shed tears, for they were not designed in that way. Because the sisters were machines, they felt nothing. Or they might mourn as humans did, but they experienced no true sadness, as they did not know what sadness was. Even when their friends perished in tragic accidents and their creator died of disease, they felt nothing. To the sisters, all it meant was that those people no longer existed. It was a warm spring's day when a lone cat wandered into their home. It was a scrawny, filthy thing, riddled with disease. What a bother, their sisters thought as they looked down at the wretched creature. But they fed it milk, wiped it clean, and kept it warm. And soon the cat was well again. From that day forth, it would linger wherever the sisters were, brushing against their legs when it wanted food. If it caught a mouse, it would bring it back to boast its prowess. If it wanted love, it would cry out to them in a mewling voice. What a bother, the sisters thought. It was a cold winter's day when the cat came into their house, let out a feeble squeak, and died. Time and again did the younger sister shake the cat's body. Time and again did the elder sister call out to it, but the cat neither moved nor responded.
Fight detected.
In that moment, the sisters felt as though they felt something break deep inside their chests. And from that day forth, they truly felt nothing at all.
confirmed.
One more for the road.
Bite detected.
Let's see what this fish looks like. Oh, it's very unique. Hang on a second. Stand by the corpse and fish close to the edge.
Complete.
I picked up the corpse.
Commencing.
Might just be a placebo effect. I don't know.
Catch lost.
I was gonna pause this game for peak season, but I'm feeling very unsatisfied with my progress. I may have to schedule out a few days, because once peak season hits, I'm only going to be able to stream on the weekends. So like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was thinking about how I'm going to split up my games. Definitely going to have to put NieR in there, because I still want to keep playing it. I want to make progress. Like, maybe, like, if I actually dedicate a full day to NieR once or twice, I feel like I could beat it. I don't necessarily want to be done with the game, but it would be nice to...
Report failed.
It'd be nice to get it done. I'm just trying to get one more fish, and it's just not happening. Come on. Peak season basically hits on Black Friday. Then I'm going to be living at work 5 days a week. There is a slim possibility that I may actually do 2 Sundays, but my mind, my emotions are telling me don't do it. No matter how much money we need, I don't know if I can take 6-day work week anymore. Especially if I'm doing like 12 hours a day. Piece of shit, just, okay.
Catch.
Clearly not. I know what it looks like now. It's clearly not that.
Complete.
Let's, gotta run all the way over here to save. Oh boy. Yeah, save your mental health. I feel guilty because my girlfriend's gonna be doing it. But she doesn't get nearly as bad as I do around peak season time. But to save her mental health as well. She'll be fine, that's the thing. I know. I got a thing where it's like, and you know, I think I'm in a bit of a privileged position, and this could change at any moment, but if I don't get at least a little bit of time every day to just sit, relax, do something I want to do, I put that time into streaming every night. Because gaming is my happy place, gaming is my unwind, relaxation. I go nuts. I go nuts. And you know, it's not just like, oh, I don't get one day. It's like, oh, I'm gonna start hitting things now. It's more like it builds up. And during peak season, I get like 7 minus 3, 6, 5, 4. Like 4 days straight of going to work for 12 hours. Which is exhausting enough. And then coming home and just going to bed. That sucks. I hate that. Coming home and just going to bed. Call me privileged. Call me like soft. I don't really care. I hate that. I can't. I hope that in the future my life continues to not require me to do that year round. But you know, things the way they are, money is needed more and more. It's probably inevitable that I will be living that life eventually. Okay, that's depressing. I'm sorry. I always have to do something after work because I refuse to just sleep, work, then back to sleep for days in a row. So you get it. Like, it's... I mean, you've seen me a couple times, probably this stream. I'm very tired from work. But I want to play. I want to play this game, and you know, if I'm like super fucking tired, if I can't stay awake, then I'll just be like, all right, listen, I gotta end the stream. I've been trying to have like a reasonable amount of caffeine. I try to keep my caffeine levels monitored and low because I don't like to run on caffeine. But like I've been doing a little bit of caffeine to help. As I get older, I get more tired. So, but yeah, like, yeah, I can't do that, dude. It's so fucking demoralizing, depressing. It's I value my time a lot. But thank you for spending your time watching me fish for 3.5 hours. The swordfish was pretty hype. Hopefully it doesn't take me 2 weeks to get the beetlefish. I swear to God, the rest of the fish are not this rare. Like, let me just confirm real quick. What do we got? We got the forest. There is my friend has a list for me that I've been referring to. The forest had the city ruins ravine area, Arowana machine, is not. It's basically a common fish compared to all this. Basically common. Forest rivers, we got fur carp, arapaima. We got forest rivers. Arapaima is pretty rare. But the fur carp isn't. Fur carp is not. Arowana is pretty rare though. The Emil hideout has why does this not have Emil's hideout? I guess underground lake, okay. Twin fit, yeah, none of the ones that are rare. Okay, so we got another really rare one. I'm praying to the RNG gods. That next rare one, please, within 5 casts, alright? 5 casts and my life is yours. I don't know what that means. To give my life to the RNG gods, but, you know, they can have their way with me, alright? But hopefully next stream we'll get the beetlefish. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Tomorrow is Baldur's Gate 3, which is not normal. I usually do that on Friday. It's second to last Baldur's Gate 3 stream before peak season starts, and I won't be doing it. But alright. Next NieR stream is on Wednesday. I'll try to figure out a schedule for peak season before it starts. Like what day I'm gonna do what. It's probably gonna be multiple games a day, because my girlfriend is not gonna be able to play a game all day, so. Alright. Take care and sleep well. You too as well. Have a good night. Bye.